When we lift the Torah during Torah reading, the custom is to point to the Torah and recite a verse from this week's parsha, VaEtchanan. V'zot haTorah asher sama Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. This is the Torah that Moshe placed before the children of Israel. It's a perfect line for that moment. We are literally pointing at the Torah and declaring, this is it. This is the Torah Moshe gave us. But when you look at the verse in its actual context, it seems surprisingly out of place. The verse appears in the middle of a paragraph, not at the end of the section, not as a summary, and not as a dramatic declaration. It functions almost like a hinge, a transition sentence. The Torah is describing how Moshe designated the 3 refuge cities for accidental killers, and then suddenly this verse appears, and the text pivots towards a new topic, the laws that lead into Moshe's retelling of the 10 Commandments. It's an odd moment for such a meaningful line. Why use this verse as the bridge between the refuge cities and the 10 Commandments? Sforno argues that this verse isn't a transition at all. When it says, this is the Torah, it's not pointing forward, it's pointing backward. It refers both to the philosophical section where Moshe spoke about the greatness of God and to the practical section about the cities of refuge. According to Sforno, the verse is simply summarizing everything Moshe had taught up till this point. Svar Hamor agrees, especially since the 10 Commandments don't appear for several more verses. For them, V'zot HaTorah is a conclusion, not a pivot. Al-Sheikh takes the opposite approach. He says this verse is meant to be a transition, a signal that Moshe is now beginning a new formal presentation of Torah, not just recounting history. Everything that follows is being presented as unified Torah. But then why mention the cities of refuge right before this moment? Al-Sheikh explains that the Arei Miklat demonstrate Moshe's eagerness to fulfill mitzvot immediately, even mitzvot that won't take effect fully until later. Since the eastern side of the Jordan was already under Israelite control, Moshe designated its refuge cities now, even though the western cities would only be established later under Yoshua. That zeal is the perfect introduction to the next section. Moshe is about to teach Torah with that same urgency, devotion, and clarity. In other words, Moshe's act of separating the cities is the proof of his total commitment to Torah, and therefore the Torah he now teaches carries special weight. Rav Hirsch reads the whole paragraph differently. He says that the true conception of God, learned from Yetziat Mitzrayim and Matan Torah, together with the true conception of man, expressed through the laws of Arei Miklat, form the foundation of Jewish national life. And this book, in which Moshe wrote down these foundations, is the Torah, the inviolable norm for the behavior of the children of Israel. And maybe all this explains why Chazal chose this verse for lifting the Torah. It's not only that the words sound appropriate out of context, it's that, as Sforno notes, it can serve as a conclusion to what we've just read. As Al-Sheikh highlights, it reflects our eagerness to fulfill its mitzvot. And as Rav Hirsch teaches, it captures the foundation of our national identity and behavior. Shabbat Shalom.